Project 4, Ideas that Changed the World. Introduction. In the 18th century, people began to ask important questions. What if the world weren't ruled by kings, but by laws? What if human beings could use reason to understand nature, change society, and improve their lives? This period became known as the Enlightenment, a time when powerful ideas emerged that still affect us today: human rights, democracy, freedom of expression, and science as a tool to understand the world. This project will take you on a journey through the great changes in human thought. You'll also learn about one of the most significant natural disasters in history, the Lisbon earthquake of 1755, which shook not only the earth, but also people's beliefs, marking the beginning of the Enlightenment. Main reading: The Lamp of Reason. In a small house in Paris, a boy listened as his father talked with other men about banned books. They said reason was like a lamp that could light up everything. "What if that lamp goes out?" asked the boy. "Then we must light it again," his father replied. At that time, ideas flew through the streets like kites. Some tried to extinguish them. Others defended them like a fire that could change the world. What was the Enlightenment? An intellectual movement that promoted reason, science, knowledge, and freedom. It began in Europe during the 18th century, partly inspired by the Lisbon earthquake. Core ideas: equality, citizens' rights, education, freedom of thought and the press, and separation of powers. Key thinkers: Voltaire, defender of freedom of expression. Rousseau wrote about the social contract and popular sovereignty. Montesquieu proposed dividing power into 3 branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. Mary Wollstonecraft fought for women's right to education. Denis Diderot created the first modern encyclopedia. The Lisbon earthquake 1755, one of the most devastating natural disasters in modern history, took place on November 1, 1755, during a major religious holiday, destroying much of Lisbon, Portugal. It was followed by a tsunami and a massive fire. Because it struck while many people were praying in churches, it sparked a huge debate. Was it divine punishment or a natural phenomenon? Impact led to the first scientific ideas about earthquakes and disaster prevention. The city was rebuilt using anti-seismic construction rules, changed how people understood both nature and God. The French Revolution 1789, inspired by Enlightenment ideas, the people rose up against absolute monarchy, gave rise to key concepts: citizenship, republic, equality under the law. Key document: the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. Symbols: the storming of the Bastille, the guillotine, the Phrygian cap, and the tricolor flag. Language, arts, and literature: adapted reading from the Declaration of Human Rights. Creative writing: diary of a child during the French Revolution or the Lisbon earthquake. Debate: which idea is most powerful: freedom, equality, or education? Informational texts: what is an encyclopedia? What does freedom of thought mean? Science and technology: the use of reason in science: Galileo, Newton, and the scientific method. Major technological changes in the 18th century: scientific explanation of earthquakes, tectonic plates, epicenter, seismic waves. Hands-on simulation: create a sand and block model to simulate a quake. Mathematics: scales to measure earthquakes, Richter and Mercalli. Graphs and data analysis: victims, magnitude, historical comparison. Measuring buildings and calculating earthquake resistance. Map-based distance and proportion calculations. Art: study of French Revolution paintings. Delacroix, David. Design of human rights posters. Illustration of old encyclopedias. Creation of a personal symbol for freedom or reason. Hands-on activities: create a mini encyclopedia with your classmates. Each writes 1 article. Simulate the Lisbon earthquake and design a safer city. Role-playing game: recreate the French National Assembly with historical characters. Idea map: connect thinkers, concepts, and key historical events. Evaluation: final project: the Book of Ideas that Changed the World, including illustrated timeline of the 18th century, informational text about an Enlightenment thinker, fictional diary from the Revolution or earthquake, glossary of key concepts: freedom, reason, revolution, science, poster or drawing of your own world-changing idea. Assessment criteria: understanding of Enlightenment ideas, ability to connect science, history, and society, clear and coherent writing, active participation in debates and activities,